Malika was born on a rainy night in a small village where dreams were often buried under responsibility and fear. The wind howled outside the mud brick house as her mother held her close, whispering prayers for a better future. No one in that village knew it then, but the name Malika, meaning queen, would one day define her life. From an early age, Malika learned what struggle meant. Her father was a hard-working farmer whose crops depended on unpredictable weather. Some years brought food, others brought hunger. Her mother stitched clothes late into the night, her fingers cracked and tired, yet her spirit unbroken. Malika watched silently, learning that strength did not always roar, sometimes it whispered and endured. School was a luxury few girls in the village enjoyed. Many believed education was unnecessary for daughters who would eventually belong to someone else's home. But Malika was different. She loved books the way others loved gold. Every word she read opened a door to another world, one where girls could choose their own paths. Every morning, Malika walked 3 miles barefoot to school, her books wrapped in cloth to protect them from dust. She faced teasing, criticism, and sometimes cruelty. Why study so much? People asked. You will end up in the kitchen anyway. Malika never replied. Her silence was not weakness, it was patience. When Malika was 16, tragedy struck. Her father fell seriously ill, and medical expenses drained what little savings the family had. Malika was forced to leave school and work in nearby houses to support her family. Those days were the hardest. She cleaned floors, washed dishes, and endured harsh words, but she never allowed bitterness to poison her heart. At night, when the world slept, Malika studied under the dim light of an oil lamp. She borrowed old books, wrote notes on scraps of paper, and reminded herself that this pause was not the end of her journey. Years passed. One day, a local teacher noticed Malika's intelligence and determination. He helped her apply for a scholarship in the city. When the acceptance letter arrived, Malika cried, not from happiness alone, but from relief. For the first time, life was opening a door instead of closing one. The city was loud, fast, and unforgiving. Malika felt small among tall buildings and confident faces. She struggled with language, confidence, and loneliness. There were nights when she almost gave up. But then she remembered her mother's tired hands, her father's silent sacrifices, and the girl who once walked miles for a chance to learn. Malika worked part-time jobs, studied relentlessly, and slowly found her voice. She learned not only from books but from life itself, about injustice, inequality, and the power of speaking up. During her final year, Malika gave a speech at a university event about women's education. Her words were honest, raw, and fearless. The room fell silent. People listened, not because she was loud, but because she was real. That speech changed everything. Malika was offered an opportunity to work with an organization supporting girls' education in rural areas. She returned to villages like her own, not as a servant, not as a victim, but as a leader. Years later, Malika stood on a stage, opening a school for underprivileged girls. Her mother sat in the front row, tears shining in her eyes. The village that once doubted her now spoke her name with respect. Malika did not become a queen with a crown or throne. She became a queen because she ruled her fears, her pain, and her destiny. She proved that true royalty is not inherited, it is earned through courage, resilience, and self-belief. And every girl who walked into that school carried a piece of Malika's story forward, learning that even from the smallest place, a queen can rise.